Chris Pratt seems to choose movies, and I don't know if this is an issue with his agent or just him exclusively. He seems to choose movies that are either really good and fun and entertaining and like summer blockbusters, or they're just complete and total trash. This is the trash. This movie is one of those trash projects. He's really good in the Jurassic World movies. Let me rephrase that. I enjoyed the first Jurassic World movies, and he is not the problem in the other ones. Um, and he's good in like Super Mario Brothers, great, fantastic in Guardians of the Galaxy, all three of those. He's great in Infinity War and for like 10 seconds in Endgame. Long story short, like he manages to pick some really good projects, and then he picks movies that are just completely terrible. I think that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I dump on that movie all the time because I think it is legitimately the worst movie I have ever seen in the theaters, and I will take that to my grave. So now his latest movie is called Mercy, and it kind of flew under the radar. It's the guy who directed Wanted, so I know that is a capable director who is able to make passable, watchable, fun action movies, and this most certainly is not one of those. This is the second time I've had to watch a movie that is essentially like told through a computer screen. Now, I reviewed War of the Worlds last year, starring Ice Cube, and it was ass. It was awful. Probably the worst movie I have ever seen with my own two eyes. Fortunately, I did not watch that one in the theaters, if it even came out in theaters. I think it might have just been on Amazon. But that movie is a complete and total catastrophe from top to bottom. That movie is told essentially through one man's computer screen, right? It was shot during COVID. They couldn't really figure out what to do, and it's just like unbelievably bad. So this movie is about Detective Chris Raven, played by Chris Pratt. He is a detective in the city of Los Angeles who is kind of the first person to put somebody into this court system called Mercy. Basically, you sit in front of an AI judge and you have 90 minutes to prove you're innocent. They're going to assume that you're guilty and you murdered somebody. If you commit a capital crime, this is where they put you basically. And you have 90 minutes to prove you're innocent. You have access to like all of this super draconian like databases that are in the cloud. You can pretty much see every person's phone on the planet unless it's black market. You can see every traffic camera. There's cameras in places that there like should not be. And so you have like, it's just this super dark and messed up, like terrifying future. And he's like the detective that put the first person away and has put 8 different people to death using the system. And whether he's like guilty or not, I didn't really care much because his character is like an asshole and really sucks. He's thrown like directly into this like trial, and there's like a commercial playing describing Mercy, and then he wakes up, and then the movie just like starts, and he's like dazed out, and it's never really fully explained like why he doesn't remember possibly murdering his wife, other than he got really wasted because he's a recovering alcoholic who has spent the last year like relapsing and is like super abusive to his wife and daughter. And so like maybe he killed her, maybe he didn't. And he's just such like a dipshit character that I had no real investment in whether he lived or died or not. And so the movie's told like essentially like watching him sit in this chair and then watch all of this unfold through a screen as he's talking to this Judge Maddox, played by the usually very good Rebecca Ferguson, who I think is just like trying her best to just make it through this mess of a film. And then something like clicks when the mystery of what's going on is kind of unveiled. And then the movie is kind of interesting for the last 10 minutes. and then the last 5 minutes are awful. So this is like a 90-minute movie that is just bad. It has a couple like intriguing bits and moments near the end when you finally are kind of invested in what happens to this guy, but he's just such a prick and a terrible person through most of the movie that it's really hard to empathize and care for him, care about what happens to him. The performances overall are just spotty. Everybody's just here to collect a paycheck. And the director of this movie also is a producer on War of the Worlds, which I don't know if somebody has taken two back-to-back L's like this dude has, because oh my God, dude, to do that movie and then this movie, which have very similar premises, is insane. And I think the movie would have benefited from, like, I guess mixing things up and not having him just sit in the chair the whole time. Like, maybe give us a little bit of like him in the real world, like what his life is actually like outside of sitting in this stupid chair. You get some of that through like camera footage and videos and social media and stuff, but overall it's just not enough to make us give a shit about this terrible guy. So this movie sucks. You probably shouldn't watch it. I didn't like it. I don't think anybody would. I just don't think this is a very good movie. If I had to rate it, if World of Worlds is like a 1 or a 0, I would give this movie like a 3 at the very best, because at least they put some effort into it. And another problem is the premise from the beginning is just lame. It's not engaging. It's so unbelievably dumb. If you start thinking about it for more than 10 seconds, you're like, yeah, there's no way any justice system would ever allow this to happen, especially in a first world developed nation. So that's what I thought of Mercy. It's trash. Let me know what you think in the comments. I didn't really do an intro because I'm recording on my phone again. Technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Follow me on my social medias. I post on Rumble, X, and Instagram at the same time every single, what day is it? I'm sorry, X, Rumble, and on YouTube every Saturday at 9 a.m. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.